Anita Sarkeesian, Brianna Wu, and Zoe Quinn did irreparable damage to the video game industry. They made way for narrative consultation companies like Sweet Baby Inc. We've seen hiring practices change in part because of them. Characters be created differently because of their unhinged demands. And we are not going to forget about what they did, what they changed. And there are some individuals online who are now talking about people like Anita yet again, saying, oh my gosh, she faced so much backlash just for critiquing video games, and of course it's important to set the record straight. I have a few different things to show off, but before I get into the topic, if you enjoy the content I create, check out the links in the description, join the community in my live streams, and consider supporting through Patreon or YouTube memberships. Now, we can't just blame these three individuals for the terrible state that the video game industry is in, but they were one of the major factors, because if Gamergate 1 had never happened and these women didn't cry wolf, and then you didn't actually see people listen to them and take them so seriously and say, oh my gosh, we need to inject more feminism into video games, things wouldn't be as bad as they are right now. And yes, part of that is just companies going down the path of DEI initiatives and forcing diversity into every single crevice they possibly could, which isn't because of the Anita Sarkeesians and Zoe Quinns, but they did help hasten the problems that we are now facing. Now, of course, there are a lot of people out there who probably do not know the ins and outs of Gamergate 1, and that is who this no context references individual on X is trying to appeal to, because these people love to rewrite history. That is what cultural Marxists do, and that is what we have seen happening surrounding Gamergate 1 for almost a decade at this point. Gamergate 1 was about ethics in video game journalism, but now if you go to Wikipedia, if you go to Zoe Quinn's page or Anita Sarkeesian's page, you are going to be slapped in the face with accusations that it was just a harassment campaign. They don't want to talk about the ethics in journalism angle, because then it makes these women look 10 times worse. So this X account, Buffy's, had said, post a woman who gets hate for no reason, and it's basically just celebrity slop like Ariana Grande, Cynthia Erivo, Sydney Sweeney is one actually, Meg the Stallion, even Amber Heard, which a lot of the women on this list probably do deserve the backlash that they face, but regardless, no context references posted Anita Sarkeesian's face and then over her critiquing video games, mind you, and it's not that simple. So yes, Anita Sarkeesian did kind of get her start in the video games industry because she did a series of YouTube videos analyzing sexism in video games. She basically complained anytime a female character wasn't in a turtleneck or a burqa. She complained every single time a audience was primarily men for a certain video game that happened to have a woman in the lead, which is so funny to me because we used to just want video games to be good. We still want video games to be good, and we will always just want video games to be good. But yet these are the types of people that are unfairly labeling us bigots, sexists, racists, etc. And we've always liked women in video games. Good, badass, well-written female characters are awesome, and people love them. But individuals like Anita Sarkeesian said, oh my gosh, the gaming industry is filled with sexism and all these women are designed so poorly, even though she would complain about characters like Bayonetta, who was designed by a woman. But after she started this series, she started a Kickstarter to fund the production of the video series, and this is really what put her on the radar for so many people. At the same time, Zoe Quinn was giving special favors to an ex-boyfriend who was giving her positive coverage, and it raised concerns about ethics in video game journalism. Anita claimed the backlash that she had faced was because of sexism and not for the fact that she was asking for money for a YouTube series about the problems with millions of people's favorite hobby, and then demanding more changes to female characters because she wanted feminism injected into the industry. And it really started this big wave of people in the industry running to their defense and saying, oh my God, they're being harassed. This is so terrible. This is so awful. Even though gamers were just criticizing most of the time these women and the decisions that they were making, the claims that they were making, and instead of actually standing with paying customers, you had video game developers who basically came out of the closet in terms of activism. They started screaming from the mountaintops that they were the biggest activists ever, and hey, at least they finally made it easy to point them out, and so we can actually avoid their products and point and laugh at them. But yeah, that is why so many people dislike Anita Sarkeesian. That's why so many people dislike Zoe Quinn and even Brianna Wu, because these three people are major reasons why the video game industry is in such a shit place at this point. I mean, look at what Anita Sarkeesian ended up doing. She started Feminist Frequency, which now, of course, is dead. But every single thing these people tried to do ended up being a complete and utter failure, or they completely fucking scammed people. Anita stopped doing her series. She shut down Feminist Frequency. Zoe Quinn collected tens of thousands of dollars, which she never put that money anywhere. And it's been years since she updated anything. And then Brianna Wu went on to try to get into politics, and that completely and utterly failed. Though, this is what people on social media are now trying to do, is rewrite history and convince the people that don't know who Anita is that she's such a good person, and they're getting absolutely destroyed for it. And rightfully so. Lied about everything is one of the largest reasons we have woke dog shit games, openly hated men, never played the games she critiqued, scammed her own fans and stole their money, caused the death of a young man. She did not get enough hate, if anything. And the last point, caused the death of a young man, wasn't necessarily Anita Sarkeesian, that was more so Zoe Quinn, because Alex Holoka was associated with Zoe Quinn, but at the same time, Anita Sarkeesian is still to blame for Gamergate, and it was because of Gamergate that everything happened with Alec. What a terrible situation overall. But yeah, I mean, Anita Sarkeesian was a grifter, plain and simple. She absolutely fucking hated men. She didn't actually want the gaming industry to really exist anymore. She didn't care about video games. She just saw a way to make a quick buck, and she did. Over her critiquing video games, OF all the way off, it's because of her. Normal women in gaming like me have to constantly hear how awful women are for gaming, and I can't even disagree, because she brought so many in with the sole intent of taking advantage of the situation. 100% accurate. I've been sitting on audio of one of her sessions with a company, and I promise you she isn't getting enough hate. Critiquing is not the word that I would use. Not only is this a huge understatement that doesn't highlight many of the things that she's actually done, but it misses out on a very important fact. She wasn't just hated for her abysmal imposturing or trying to change the industry. Even her supporters, the people who actually backed her campaign and funded it, felt that she had scammed them. She angered both sides of the table that she shouldn't have been sad at. You can't say she was critiquing video games when she blatantly lied. The hate was 100% deserved. She went to the UN with Zoe Quinn, and the two of them begged them to make trolling her an international crime using screenshots of death threats that came from her own IP address. Lied about actually playing video games. She said she did. Stole video game footage. Lied to crowdfunders and did nothing. Lied about death threats. She is one of the sole reasons video games suck ass now. She played video games wrong on purpose so she could report them for being bad to fit her narrative. She didn't even write her own scripts. A guy did it for her, and once he left all her content cratered because she couldn't do it herself. Also, she married herself as the cherry on top of the pathetic pie, which is so hilarious to me that yes, she did have a wedding-themed birthday because she's so lonely because nobody takes her seriously, and she's the laughing stock of an an entire industry now. And well, I guess that's the best form of karma possible in this situation. So yeah, Anita Sarkeesian is somebody we will not forget anytime soon. She and her ilk have done irreparable damage to the video game industry, one of the major reasons why we're in the predicament we are facing right now. And I'm going to call people like her out at any point possible, and you all should be doing the same, because there are a couple people on social media who are trying to make us think we truly didn't know the struggles she was facing, but all of the backlash she received was 100% deserved. But that's all that I really had to discuss in this video. Let everyone know your thoughts in the comments below. If you found this important and informative, make sure to give it a like, share it, and subscribe to the channel. And if you didn't, give it a dislike. I appreciate your support either way, but I'll talk to you all again in the next video really soon.